Let's start with 2 fresh eggs. Next, we add 100 grams of granulated sugar to the bowl, plus 10 grams of vanilla sugar. Beat the mixture with a mixer until it becomes light and fluffy. Now, pour 50 milliliters of sunflower oil to make the dough tender. Beat the mixture once again to fully incorporate the oil into the batter. Now it is time to pour in 50 grams of cooled, melted butter. It is time to mix everything thoroughly with the mixer. At this stage, our goal is to create a perfectly smooth liquid base. The combination of vegetable oil and melted butter will make the pie incredibly moist and tender. Now we need 360 grams of flour. Let's add only half of it for now, which helps to avoid any lumps, followed by 10 grams of baking powder. Now, take a whisk and gently mix the ingredients until smooth. It is best to use a whisk rather than a mixer at this stage. This prevents overworking the dough, ensuring our pie will be incredibly tender and airy. Excellent. Now we add the remaining half of the flour to our dough. At this point, the dough becomes significantly thicker, so we switch to a spatula to mix everything. A silicone spatula is the most effective tool here. It allows you to scrape the bottom and sides of the bowl cleanly. Fold the mixture thoroughly from the bottom up until no dry flour remains. Now it is time to work with your hands and knead the dough. Kneading by hand gives you full control over the density of the mixture. Knead it thoroughly until it stops sticking to your fingers and forms a smooth, elastic ball. Now, divide the dough. Separate about 1/5 of the total mass. Wrap this smaller piece in plastic wrap and place it directly into the freezer. Put the remaining larger portion into the refrigerator. Now we move on to the filling. We need 200 to 250 grams of canned peaches. Cut them into small, uniform cubes. Here is a crucial tip when working with canned fruit. Make sure to drain the syrup completely. You can even pat the peaches dry with a paper towel. Removing excess moisture is essential, as it prevents the pie base from becoming soggy during the baking process. Set the peaches aside for now and start preparing the cream. We will need 400 milliliters of milk. For the best result and a richer texture, it is recommended to use whole milk. Pour it directly into a suitable saucepan. Next, 10 grams of vanilla sugar, followed by 3 tablespoons of sugar for the perfect amount of sweetness. Now add a single egg yolk for extra richness. Finally, add 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. This will perfectly thicken our cream. Now take a whisk and mix everything thoroughly until completely smooth. It is crucial to dissolve the cornstarch and yolk in cold milk before turning on the heat. Once the mixture is perfectly uniform, we can move the saucepan to the stove. Place the saucepan on low heat and begin stirring constantly. A silicone spatula is highly recommended for this process, as it allows you to thoroughly scrape the bottom and the edges of the pan, where the cream tends to stick first. The secret to a perfect custard is patience. Do not increase the heat to speed up the process, or the egg yolk might curdle and ruin the texture. Keep stirring smoothly and continuously until the mixture thickens into a rich, velvety cream. Once removed from the heat, give the thickened cream one final, thorough stir to release the excess steam and ensure a completely smooth texture. Then, pour in 200 milliliters of heavy cream to enrich the filling. Gently blend the ingredients until you achieve a perfectly uniform consistency. The heavy cream softens the dense custard, creating an incredibly delicate and balanced filling for the pie. Keep mixing with smooth, confident movements until the color is even throughout. Now it is time to add our prepared diced peaches. Pour them into the cream and mix everything together once more. Be sure to stir gently so the fruit cubes keep their beautiful shape and do not turn into a puree. And just like that, our wonderful peach cream is completely ready. Now take the chilled dough out of the refrigerator and place it into your baking pan. Use your hands to press it down, forming an even bottom and the sides of the pie. Try to work quickly so the heat from your hands does not melt the butter in the dough. Press firmly into the corners to ensure the crust bakes completely evenly. Now, carefully pour the prepared peach cream over the dough base. Take your time to carefully smooth the top of the peach filling with a spatula. This step is more important than it seems. An even layer guarantees that every slice of the pie will look absolutely perfect when cut. Make sure the cream fills all the gaps around the edges, touching the dough base firmly without any air pockets. It is time for the final layer. Take the dough from the freezer and grate it on a fine grater directly over the peach filling. Thanks to the small holes, the crumbs will be light and airy. In the oven, this layer will turn into a beautiful, golden, crispy crust, making a perfect textural finish for the pie. Grab a regular fork to carefully distribute the grated dough. We want to make the top layer completely even, but it is important not to press the crumbs into the cream. The fork helps keep the texture light and airy before baking. Now bake at 200 degrees for 25 minutes. The pie is ready. We let it cool completely so the peach cream sets perfectly. Now we can safely remove it from the mold. Just look at this magnificent result. The grated short crust dough has transformed into a perfectly golden and crispy crust, safely covering the delicate filling underneath. The edges hold their shape perfectly without any sinking. This dessert looks truly appetizing from every angle, and it will definitely be a wonderful centerpiece. It is finally time to slice our dessert and reveal the inside. Let's make a neat cut to see the beautiful layers we created. Take a closer look at this perfect slice. A thin, short crust base at the bottom, an airy, crispy crumb on top, and an abundance of the most delicate custard in between. Take a moment to appreciate the quality of this homemade masterpiece. Love is visible in every turn with which we prepared it. Perfectly baked dough, a smooth cream texture, and the juiciness of the fruit. This pie is stable, beautiful from all sides, and will become a true centerpiece on your table. A recipe tested by time and taste. Treat your loved ones with delicious baking. Thank you for watching. Cook with pleasure, and see you soon.